Hey everyone, welcome back to the month ahead reading. This is the monthly astrology forecast and the cards for actually this month I'm doing it for each element. So timestamps will be below for whether you're an air sign, earth sign, water sign or fire sign. And so I'll group them together that way just for this month. And just before I get into the interesting astrology this month, including a blue moon, stay tuned to find out about that. I just want to mention my Patreon, so the link's below if you want to follow me on Patreon, if you want to learn astrology, go more in depth with astrology, but also I post other things like pick a card readings, full moon updates, new moons, eclipses, things like that. Just anything that comes up with the astrology that's interesting that I have time to post. There's different tiers on there, so check them out. There's 4 different tiers, and if you just join the first tier, which is $6.99, that's Australian dollars per month, you do get up to 5 extra videos that I post per month, and you also get the ability to vote for what you want to see there. And there's more to it, but have a look at my Patreon. Love to see you there. Also, if you'd like to book a reading, the link to my website is below. Turnaround time at the moment is around 9 to 16, 17 business days. I'm just very, very busy, but if you'd like to book, you can. If you're in Sydney, you'd like to book an in-person reading, you can also do that. Contact me separately for that. It's not on my website. So August, crazy looking month. You know, we're in the Venus retrograde, so that goes till September 4th 5th. Venus retrograde, I did do actually a video on my Patreon about that. Patrons will know that, have seen that video. You can watch a little preview if you go to my Patreon about it. Very brief preview, but basically I will just mention that if, you know, it is Venus retrograde in Leo this month, so the whole month, as I said, till September 4th, it's not a time to start something brand new. When I say brand new, a new person coming into your life that you've never met before. Making a decision about your life that is something that just popped into your head as a new thing this month. Beauty treatments, hair treatments, luxury purchases, not a great idea under the Venus retrograde, because what will happen is you'll probably change your mind. It'll probably be a hassle in the end. It's different for people that, like, say you've known someone for a very long time and, you know, you're going to a different stage in the relationship. That can definitely happen in the Venus retrograde, where existing relationships can go deeper. So there is that. Some people will experience some confusion in the Venus retrograde. If you're Venus ruled, it can feel like you're not getting the momentum that you're wanting in different areas of your life. Venus, don't forget, rules finances and, of course, love and relationships. Okay, so those areas could feel a little bit stuck in some way, or confusing, or for some can be going to a deeper level. But generally speaking, the main tips that I give people is not to purchase, you know, big luxury items that are on impulse buys. And, you know, if you've got a receipt and you've got like a cooling off period or something, that's different, but you may just find it's a hassle in the end, and not a good time to do a brand new beauty type treatment that you've never done before, because it could probably just not work out, most likely. Okay, so that's the Venus retrograde. Like I said, it's active all month of August. Now, August is a blue moon, so that doesn't happen very often, and it's when we have 2 full moons in a month. So we actually are having the full moon in Aquarius today and tomorrow, depending where you are in the world. So that full moon in Aquarius happens at around 9 degrees of Aquarius. It is square with Jupiter in Taurus, so it could feel for some, especially Aquarian people, a bit more emotional. So Aquarians, I'm an Aquarius moon, so I can attest to this. We're not always, you know, heart on our sleeve type people. We tend to feel a lot of emotion, but we definitely keep it under wraps. It can be, it's, you know, Aquarius is co-ruled by traditional ruler is Saturn. Saturn is about restriction and can be repression of the emotions, can be a struggle with wanting to express the emotions but not being able to. But with the full moon, it might bring those emotions out, because that's what full moons tend to do. Square Jupiter can be that we could be having a lot of feelings, but we just don't know how to be free with our feelings or express them or open up to them. But also this full moon in Aquarius is, you know, Aquarius is very much about higher perspective, the way you perceive life, your perceptions, your beliefs, and your higher vision for your future as well, like what you want out of your future. So this full moon, August 1st, 2nd, can be you know, feeling like, oh, what am I doing with my life? You know, what's my purpose? There must be something more that has a higher meaning for me in life than just doing what I'm doing right now that I've been doing for a long time. Say, for example, if you're in a job that you're not happy with and you've been there for a very long time, you're like, you know what, I need to do something that feels more satisfying to my soul. Aquarius is always concerned with some higher idealism, you know, like, and wanting to fulfill that in some way. Now, like I said, its traditional ruler is Saturn, so it does bring in an element of reality, like what can I realistically change here? And don't forget also, Aquarius is ruled by, in the modern rulership, Uranus, and Uranus is a change agent, you know. So it's interesting because with this full moon, a lot of people might experience some kind of changes, endings, and new beginnings. Now, that's the first full moon. And then I'll go in chronological order. So then the 16th of October, we have a new moon. So that new moon is on 23 degrees of Leo. So that could be a new start around something creative, you know, depending where it falls in your chart, in your astrology chart. If you know your chart, look to where you have 23 degrees of Leo. Does the new moon contact anything? What house is it in? If it's in your 6th house, it could be a new job situation, new work opportunity. If it's in your 7th house, it could be new relationship developments. If it's in your 1st house, it could be your path opening up in some kind of distinct new way. If it's 10th house, career, possibly marriage, things of that nature, commitments and your goals. So that new moon is on the 16th, like I said, so there'll be a new start around something creative, or for some related to children or romance. And Uranus actually does make a square to that new moon, which makes it a little bit interesting and it'd be a little bit wonky. Uranus square moon's not the best energy. It can indicate like some kind of unexpected developments around the new moon. This is 16th of August. So I'll say, like, if you have something that comes out of the blue, and it's going to be more so for anyone that has anything around 23 degrees of a fixed sign, especially Leo. Fixed signs, just a reminder, are Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. With Uranus square that new moon, there's going to be something unexpected, something that pops up out of the blue, something that you're not anticipating and that you have to kind of work with at the last minute. But ultimately, because I think this new moon Leo overall is, except for the square to Uranus, Uranus to the moon, it's overall quite positive. So I feel like it's going to be positive and creative anyway, and inspiring. You know, Leo energy can be very inspiring, very uplifting. Then the 24th of August, we do have Mercury going retrograde. So that's, you know, Mercury retrograde happens several times a year. Obviously, it's a time when there can be miscommunications, misunderstandings. It's in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is about being very analytical, looking at the details of your day-to-day life, your work, your health, your routine. So you may be going back over something that you were doing before when it comes to health, work, or routine that you forgot about, or that you sort of left behind. Say, you know, you used to go to work out at a particular place that you liked for some reason because it had access to different type of workout. Say, for example, you're like, oh, I miss doing that workout. Or I used to do yoga and I miss doing that. I'm going to go back and do that. It can be revisiting something. Mercury retrograde, also you can bump into people from the past, especially old workmates because it's in Virgo, or people that you used to work out with, or people that you used to go to the gym with, or that kind of thing. And it will be retrograde, I don't know if I mentioned, from the 24th of August through to September 4th. Interesting, the retrograde of Mercury ends around the time that the Venus retrograde ends. So I do feel very strongly, based on looking at that from September 4th, 5th, you're going to find that a lot of things are going to start to move forward in your life. So that's cool. And also with Mercury retrograde, if you're planning anything to do with travel or details around travel, make sure you're double checking information, ticket information, departure, baggage. You've got everything with you that you need, because, you know, it's easy to forget things or lose things or misplace things with Mercury in Virgo retrograde from the 24th of August to September 4th. Okay, next is from the 30th of August. I forgot 30th of August. What did I put here? Oh, yeah, that's the full moon in Pisces. 7 degrees of Pisces. So that should be a really kind of, you know, the full moon in Pisces is always mystical, and it gets us more connected with the spiritual realms, with our creative side, with our feelings, this kind of boundarylessness energy of like opening up to possibility and magical energy. It can have a fantasy element. However, it is going to be conjunct with Saturn, which is kind of the opposite of all that. So in one way, it could bring your dreams to fruition for some people that have been doing the work on something. It's not going to necessarily be a dream just happens, manifests out of the blue, but it could. You never know. I don't want you never say never. But Saturn with the moon is going to be something that you've been working on over time, could come to fruition around the 30th of August. Or you may be letting something go because it is very much a surrender energy. You know, Pisces is like letting go and trusting and going with the flow. Saturn is like allowing something, especially with another full moon on the 30th of August, letting something end if it needs to. And for some people, there may be endings around something to do with a parent, family, a job situation, something that you're outgrowing or that is just karmically ending. So that full moon around the 30th of October may feel a bit emotional or heavy emotionally, like depressing for some, not for everybody. Some people, it might be the opposite, where you feel like, oh wow, my dreams are coming to reality, like things are manifesting in reality, things that I want. So I would say around the full moon on the 30th of August, be careful what you're thinking, because there's a strong manifestation energy. Even though full moons are not really a time to manifest, they're more a time to release. The new moon's a time more to manifest. But with Saturn involved here, it's either going to be karmic endings or karmic new beginnings, is what I would say. And then on the 28th, just to skip back, I should have said this before, sorry, the 28th of August, we have Mars entering into Libra, which is a detriment position. Thinking, if you keep in mind with the astrology, if you're still learning, Mars is exalted in Capricorn, it is in dignity in Aries, and the opposite sign to Aries is Libra. So you could see why, if it's in dignity in Aries where it's very strong, it is weaker in the opposite sign of Libra. Because Mars wants to go forward in a very direct, focused manner, take action accordingly to what it wants to do instinctively. In Libra, however, it's weighing up what other people are doing, what other people are thinking and feeling, and it can slow down the ability to focus and charge ahead. It can be kind of like, oh, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm kind of feeling indecisive because I've got to factor in other people with what I'm doing. So that begins on the 28th of August. So just keep that in mind, that you may be working with others or having to cooperate more with others during this time of Mars being in Libra. All right, so that's just a rundown on the astrology. There are a lot of retrograde energies with Venus, Saturn, Pluto, and Uranus will be retrograde from the end of August. But during the month of August, Venus, Saturn, Pluto, and also Mercury from the 24th. So that's quite a few retrograde energies, which means we're revisiting a lot of things from the past. We could feel very emotional with 2 full moons in the month. Especially, I think, just if you're someone who's more psychically sensitive, you might find this month a bit intense because of the 2 full moons. Let's have a look at the cards. I'm going to start with the air signs first, okay? So, of course, that is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm using the Unicorn Tarot. I have not used this deck for a very long time on the monthly readings. So, the air signs, what do you guys have? Okay, there was two that came out here. All right, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you guys have, and I might do 2 tarot cards for each sign, the 8 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. Interesting. So this is something where you might be thinking of walking away from something. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, potentially. Usually with the Cups, it's something related to your emotions or that you've had an emotional connection to. The 4 of Pentacles is where you can feel some kind of insecurity or some kind of like you're holding a lot of emotion within, and it can be fearing change. So you're kind of maybe wanting to hold on to a comfort zone. Again, these are very general readings, so just take what resonates for you. It's not going to be obviously that as personal for everybody. For some people it may make more sense than others. So, you know, it's like you've been looking at these cups for a long time trying to decide what to do. And when I tune into this card energetically, I feel like this person is quite discontent in some way. So I'm not saying you're all unhappy, air signs, so don't think that. But there might be something in your life that you're not happy about that is... you might be holding on to it for security reasons, whatever it is. Of an emotional nature, it could be something to do with family, it could be just something to do with a relationship, it could be a situation in your life that's stuck and stagnant. The 4 of Pentacles is a very kind of stagnant energy, I find. where you're just holding on out of the need for comfort and safety, but it's not really fulfillment. Okay, so again, keep an open mind, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because this may be different, very different stories for everybody. Some of you, I'm getting there's something about a living situation that you kind of feel like, okay, I've been here for a long time. I feel like I need to change something. But there's some emotions tied into it. Let's see what the self-care message is. Massage. Oh, nice. Interesting, there's a real focus on the kidneys here. So especially for Libras, look after your lower back and kidney area, because that is the Libran area of the body. And there is the highlight of the healing around that part. Also looks like the back of the neck, and the possibly could relate to, even though it's the back, the thyroids, that's more at the front, and the feet as well. So interesting, you might be wanting an acupressure points, get some kind of acupressure, some kind of treatment, some kind of maybe even acupuncture, some kind of massage would do you good to release some stress, possibly. Let's see what the Moonology deck says for August for the air signs. You have you and your loved ones are safe. How interesting. I was talking about with the Four of Pentacles wanting to feel safe, and then we have the Cancerian energy, which can be about home life or family or where you feel safe. So it's like maybe you have a fear of losing stability, or you sometimes think about your stability and you're like, I'd like to have change, I'd like to do something exciting, but I just really want my stability too, and how do I do both? That could be sometimes quite a normal dilemma. You may be feeling like keeping to yourself at the moment, or during the month of August, in some stages of August, air signs. Wow, you have magic. Love it. Moonlight enchantment. Okay, air signs, look at the wolf howling at the moon. I don't know if you can see that there. And it's number 25, which is 7. 7's like kind of a very spiritual number. It's about your spiritual, sort of a calling, you know, like something that you can't pinpoint in the material reality necessarily, but it's like there's something in your heart being called forward. And it could be for some like a primal feeling, like I just know I need something more out of my life. And it's interesting that the full moon comes up here and the new moon comes up, because there is, even though the new moon this month is in Leo, it is showing a new moon here. So there might be events around that new moon in Leo, which is on the 16th of August. And the full moon comes up. So air signs, there might be really strong developments, especially Aquarius, around the full moon, because it's in your sign, 1st and 2nd of August. And then for, what was the other one? Oh, Pisces. So there's also the Pisces full moon at the end of the month. So I think the air signs, especially Aquarius, are going to feel that full moon very strongly this month. And you could feel, like I said, you know, the Aquarians could feel surprisingly emotional. And but there's also some magic around you this month, which I love this card. It's like saying there's some good things that are coming in as well. Some exciting developments, something adventurous possibly. Some might be even going out into nature or going camping or doing something that's a bit different. And there's a very magical energy around you. You'll be able to feel that. And whether you feel that at the beginning of the month with the Aquarius full moon or at the end, I'm not sure, but it's definitely one of those. All right, that's for the air signs. Let's move on to the water signs. Oh, this one's jumping already. Okay, so this is for Scorpio, Cancerians, and Pisces. 2 of Swords and the 9 of Rods. Okay, so water signs, a bit difficult energy here. You might be feeling exhausted this month, water signs, so take it easy on yourself. You may be having trouble with decision making. The 2 of Swords can be not sure either what's going to pan out in a situation, like you're thinking it could either be this or it could be that, or you could be unsure about making a decision, like how am I going to make a decision? I just don't know what to choose. I don't know what to do. I'm so uncertain still. Usually with this card, if it comes up for you in a reading, it means that you're just not ready just yet to make a clear decision. And that would make sense because it's Venus retrograde, it's Saturn retrograde. This is not the best time to make huge decisions in your life. You know, for some people, if you have those planets natally retrograde in your chart, you know, it might not be as difficult, but just generally speaking. But anyway, water signs, you might be feeling like you have to defend your energy a lot this month. There's a lot of heavy energy around you. Protect your energy. Don't let other people drain you. Okay, especially Scorpios and Pisces, because you're more susceptible to being open to negative energies from other people. So you can protect your energy in various ways. You can cleanse yourself with white sage at the end of the day if you feel like you're picking up on stuff from other people, from work or family or whoever. or just people out and about. You can also wear black crystals like black tourmaline or pyrite is very grounding and protective, but also positive for your mental health. There's a lot of different stones that you can use, and this can be like just feeling like there's a lot of antagonism around you, or that you're dealing with antagonistic people or issues, but you're still struggling with some uncertainty, water signs. Let's see what else is happening for this month for the water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and don't forget Pisces, full moon at the end of the month in your sign. You have full moon in Virgo. I'm just saying full moon, but we have the opposite sign of Pisces, which is Virgo. So it's saying you are good enough. So water signs, you may have some insecurities come up or some fear come up that's making you feel not good about yourself. Virgo is about purification. So purifying your energy field, purifying your mind, getting rid of negative thoughts, especially Scorpios. I'm talking to you because as a Scorpio rising, and I know people with the Scorpio placements or 8th house placements, there's often a struggle with negative thoughts. And it's really important to purify yourself of those negative thoughts and cancel them out, push them away, because they can become very detrimental to your spirit, to your soul, to your energy, to your happiness. And no one's perfect. We all have negative thoughts from now and then. But if it's becoming a thing for you, that's problematic. You may need to detox yourself through health, you know, looking after your health more, eating better foods, not drinking alcohol because that's a depressant. Doing what you need to do. Virgo is a good energy for discipline, and keeping your body clean as much as possible is very important. Body, mind, so that you can be your best self, so that you're not struggling under the weight of your own negative thoughts. That's what I'm getting for that. Okay, so let's go to the next card. Water signs, what else do we have for August for you guys? Wow, change. 12, dragonfly spirit. Interesting. So there's some kind of significant change this month for the water signs, and I would say in particular for Pisces, because that full moon on the 30th of August is in your sign, and it's with Saturn, which is about endings and new beginnings, and also with the full moon in Aquarius, that would definitely be affecting quite strongly Scorpio, because you're another fixed sign as well. So there's some destined change this month around you. 3 is about creativity, communication, connections with others. Let me see, what's your self-care card for the water signs for August? Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You have dream journal. 20 always, or 2 relates to relationships, so you might have some interesting dreams about your relationships. You may feel like writing. Water signs, you may feel like writing down your thoughts, your dreams in particular, especially if you have something that feels like a premonition. Write it down for future reference. So there might be something, you might even have, maybe even Pisces people or any of the water signs could have like a spiritual visitation dream where someone comes through to you in a dream that you know, either someone that's already, you know, that's still living, their higher self comes through and tells you something, or someone that's passed on. It could be like a visitation type dream. Okay, next are fire signs. So I'm going to Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This one want to jump out, I saw it. The fire signs, you have the Hanged Man, so feeling a little bit stuck here with a situation. And it looks like it's to do with a relationship. So a couple of things here for Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. You might feel like you're waiting for something to happen with the Hanged Man. It can be, just to put these cards close to the camera, it can be waiting for something that's destined to manifest, okay? And it looks like it's connected to a relationship in some way. So it could be anything from, some of you may be waiting for a child to arrive, like, or a pregnancy or a childbirth. Some may be waiting for guidance from spirit around a relationship. Some people might be waiting for, you know, maybe you're waiting to meet someone new, or there's someone on your mind that you're waiting for something to develop with. That's what I'm getting with the 2 of Cups, which is the soulmate card. All right, let's have a look what else for fire signs. For other fire signs, actually, you know, if you haven't met somebody yet, you might be thinking, you know, I'd like to meet somebody, and it looks like there could be somebody that you meet this month where you have a strong connection with them, whether it's like a really strong friendship or, you know, but if it is a friendship, it's going to be someone that's part of your soul tribe, and it could also have a romantic element. For others, you're waiting for something to come to fruition in a relationship. Nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. Interesting. Okay, what I'm getting from that is with the Venus retrograde, yeah, it's not a time to start a new relationship. So it's saying that in August, for some, you may be still waiting the whole month for something to develop. So it's better to let go and just kind of hang back and not try to make something happen this month in love, in relationships, because of that Venus retrograde. That's what I'm getting with that, okay? So it's like, you know, just go with the flow. Just let things develop as they will without trying to make things happen, without trying to push things too much, because it's almost like the more you push, the less will manifest, is what I'm getting. So you just need to let go and trust a little bit. You have drink tea, which is cute. So I don't know why I heard tea ceremony. That could be just for one person. You might be discovering new teas, like new organic teas, and new tea that you like, that's like a healing, detoxifying tea, something that helps you with your health, some kind of remedy, like a health remedy is what I'm getting. Or you might be discovering something about green tea. I don't know why I'm getting green tea. Interesting. Okay, let's see what else. And you have healing. Ah, interesting. That makes a lot of sense. Some of you may be doing some healing around a relationship, fire sign. So a relationship from the past with this Two of Cups here. What number is that? 4. Something could be some to do with family, something from the past to do with family, or a past relationship. That would be a good use of this energy, because it could be quite an emotional month for many of you. And it looks like it is an energy around healing that is quite strong. There is something to do with, for some of you, you know, waiting for something to come to fruition, which will in a relationship, but it may not happen this month with this card. It may be something that you're working more on yourself this month, and then after Venus goes direct after September 5th, then something manifests in a relationship. That's what I'm getting. All right, that's for the fire signs. And lastly, the earth signs. So my lovely fellow Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn people. Let's see what's going on with the earth signs. We have the 8 of Swords, not the best card. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This one. 4 of Cups. Oh, God. All right. So I'm a Taurus, so this is not the greatest energy here. It's kind of like you're feeling a bit stuck in a situation, or a bit stuck in confined restriction of some type. Maybe it's something to do with your living situation, or just your schedule is very busy and you're just like, oh, I can only get so much done. 4 of Cups is like you kind of feel like things are not coming to fruition in the way that you're hoping. That's what it looks like. But again, Venus is retrograde, especially for Taurus. Your Venus ruled. So if this is related to, for some, it could be related to relationships. It could be related to love, or just life in general. You might just be like, I'm just kind of got to go with what I've got at the moment. And it might be restrictive, but it's just what I've got to do. Courage, interesting. And that's a number 3. Okay, so this is about, with 3s are about communication, and it's about, I heard, courage of your convictions. So you might be having to be courageous in the way you deal with communication. So you might have to be, or you might be feeling like you have to be more open in a situation with the way you're communicating for some reason. And there could be like a vulnerable feeling with that, which is not easy for earth signs. All the earth signs can find it hard to really express their deeper, more vulnerable emotions. It doesn't feel natural. Ooh, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Oh, there's 2 cards. Wow, you have sex. Look at that. It's a nice card. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but that's just what came out. And sound healing. So you might be also using music to heal at this time. So yeah, that's interesting. It's a bit of romantic energy there for the earth sign. So even though you've got this kind of bit of sad energy here, a bit of like, oh, I just feel held back, I don't feel like I'm living my best life right now, you've got some really nice energy with these 2 cards. Some of you may be doing something with actual sound healing. So some of you may be listening to like singing bowl, you know, singing bowl music or something, or getting a healing done that involves music in some way. I don't know why I just heard shamanic healing. Could be some people that are earth signs getting a shamanic healing. One more card. It's going to cut out. And you have the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. Okay, so the answers you need are coming. I'm going to leave it there because it's about to cut out. Thank you so much. I don't like the way it cut out, so I have to finish off properly, but it's saying you might have a bit of a confusing month, Earth signs. However, there is information coming to you that's going to be helpful. I do feel more so at the end of the month, but more so into September when Mercury is direct and Venus is direct, especially Taurus for Venus direct. September 5th, remember that date. It's a better time. All right, you're not going to feel as stuck. And that is it, guys. If you'd like to book a reading, links below. Join me on Patreon, like I said, links below. And I'll talk to you next month. Thanks for watching. Bye.